Hello and welcome to Obinna TV. So for now, this is a four-part segment. I'd like to look at can Kenyan musicians, especially Willie Paul, can he match Diamond? Can Willie Paul match Diamond? And of course, maybe can Kenyan musicians match the likes of Wizkid, Davido, Burna Boy, and of course Diamond Platinums. Of course, then I look at why are engineers flocking to careers in high finance and consulting. Then I look at Africa perspectives. Once Africa's richest woman, that is Isabel dos Santos. She wants to contest for the presidency of Angola. So basically, then some see it as a joke, and then of course in the making America, in American political parlance, who will be the next democratic leader? Who will be the next democratic leader? So we can start off. Basically, Willie Paul, of course, Willie Paul came out guns blazing. He was supposed to perform basically before Diamond, but him and Diamond, the time was they clashed basically, and Diamond did not perform. So Willie Paul, remember at one time, Diamond Platinums was the role model for Willie Paul, and even Willie Paul choreographed his songs around the Diamond Platinum songs. He sang love songs, and basically Diamond Platinums says that Willie Paul wants to use his name to trend. So basically, uh, 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 remember, majority of the fans of Diamonds are Kenyans. You wouldn't even know, but if you look at YouTube analytics, the majority of the fans of Diamond Platinums are Kenyans. So basically, we are the ones who are supporting Diamond Platinums. But when will Kenyan musicians ever reach those levels? You have our musicians being paid only 1 million. You have Willie Paul. Look at Sauti Sol, look at Calligraph Jones, they're paid just 1 million, while Diamond is paid 20 million and maybe even 100 million for the birthday party that he came. So basically, what will it take? First of all, branding. Basically, of course, you have Eric Omondi saying that our station should be playing 75% of Kenyan music. That is the way that we will promote Kenyan musicians. But I don't think that is so. I don't think that is so. I just think maybe we need more branding. I think when you go to the early 2000s, it is the Kenyan. Remember, Wizkid came here to benchmark with the Kenyan group. I think Wizkid came here in was it in 2014? So basically, we are the ones pioneers of the industry. So where did the rain start beating us? Where did the rain start beating us? I would say very much that it has to do with branding. First of all, Tanzania they are known as Bongo, and Nigeria is Afrobeat, South Africa is Amapiano. So which is the Kenyan beat? Maybe that's what we need to ask. Of course, you have Kapungala, you have Kapuka, then of course you have Gengeton, and now Abanton. So basically, which is the Kenyan beat? Which is the Kenyan beat? So basically, right now it is Kapungala, it is Kapuka, it is Gengeton, it is Abanton. So basically, which is the Kenyan beat? And right now, I think Kenyan musicians, which Kenyan artist just lives off solely by music. We should be having like the crib of MTV. That's what the Kenyan musicians should be having. That is like the crib of MTV. So basically, I think it has to do with branding. We have to demand more airplay for Kenyan music. I think we have to demand more airplay for Kenyan music. I think there is a Kenyan station that plays maybe very few Kenyan stations play 75% Kenyan music. Of course, you had energy. I think on Fridays it plays only Kenyan music, and then I think even Kiss has gone down a bit. I think they play Kenyan music, but of course for classic, I think for classic 105 they play mainly bongo and the Nigerian music. Of course, for Maina Kageni, he says in any one morning he has 29 songs to play. So for him to play Kenyan music, then you have to convince him to remove at least one or two songs that he says the fans of Classic 105 like. That's what Maina Kageni says. That is, he plays at any one time about 30 songs. In any morning show, he plays 30 songs. So for him to be able to remove a Kenyan song, and then you have to convince him that basically he has to remove those songs. And of course, and that's just to say Kenyan music is not up to scratch. That's what Maina Kageni says. And remember, Maina has hype. Maina Kageni has hype. If you want your song to be hyped, just go to Maina Kageni. He will hype that music very much. And I think that's the way that he gets to hype his songs. I think that's the way Maina Kageni gets to hype, and that's how Kenyan music gets to be played. So first of all, play 75% Kenyan music, and then brand. Let's brand our kind of music. Let's brand our kind of music. We don't need to be able to, we need to brand our music. What is the Kenyan beat? That is what we should be asking. What is the Kenyan beat? Is it kapungala? Is it gengeton? Is it urban tone? So that when someone is in America and hears our song, then basically they know this is our beat, this is what we dance to. They know this is the Kenyan beat. Of course, some are saying that Kenyan artists don't play and don't have good lyrics, maybe like Tanzanians, but of course Americans, Beyonce and Rihanna basically sing naked, sing are barely dressed. That is Beyonce, the likes of Beyonce and Rihanna, but we listen to their music. So when you have fans saying that our music does not is not decent, then basically you are cheating me. Even American music is like that. So basically we need to be able to do, and when Kenyans talk about international tours, they are not filling stadiums abroad. It is just in some dingy bars by some promoter. So we are just going to perform in some bars, dingy bars in abroad. We are not filling up stadiums. That's what we need to ask. We don't have a truly international artist, and that is why I say that maybe we are going a long way. So do you think Kenyan musicians can match up to the likes of Diamond Platinum's Willie Paul? Can the likes of Willie Paul match up to the likes of Diamond Platinum's, or Wizkid or Davido or Diamond? So you will let me know in the comment section. Then I will go over to ideas. So basically in ideas, why are engineers flocking to high finance and consulting? Basically you have high finance and consulting. Basically a lot of engineers are good in math, and so they are wanted by these banks, by these financial institutions, to be able to do auditing, to be able to do tax accounting, to be able to do all sorts of jobs. And so you have a lot of engineers ending up in financial institutions. So why is there a flight of science and engineering talent to high finance and consulting? You have these big four auditing firms, KPMG, Deloitte, EY. KPMG, Deloitte, EY, PwC, they like engineers because they say they are good with numbers. So as an engineer, would you take a career in high finance and consulting, in high finance, in auditing? That is, will you take a career at PwC? They start with very good pay. I think in Kenya it's about 70,000 shillings or 80,000. That's very few graduates start at 80,000, but I think most Kenyan graduates start at 25 or 35,000. But I think for these big four auditing and consulting firms, they start at 80,000, and so maybe most of them go on to these auditing and consulting firms. And then in African perspectives, in African politics, in African newspaper review, I like to look at once Africa's richest woman, that is Isabel dos Santos. That she was the daughter of the former president Eduardo dos Santos. So the former president of Angola, Isabel dos Santos, she wants to run for the presidency of Angola. The former president of Angola, that is Eduardo dos Santos, she wants to run. She wants to run for the presidency of Angola. So basically, I think maybe she will be. I think she will win the presidency. But why is it that the corrupt in Africa succeed? Basically, she is worth $1 billion. She is a dollar billionaire. That's a lot of money. That's not cheap change. That is Isabel dos Santos. She is worth, I think, $1 billion. That is Isabel dos Santos. Of course, she wants to run for the Angolan presidency. Remember, she became the richest woman in Africa after her dad placed her as the as the head of the Petroleum Revenue Authority, where she diverted the oil funds to her own personal account. That's the kind of theft that goes on in Africa. In Africa, basically, people steal money into their private bank accounts. You don't get to become rich in Africa by your creative genius trick, by ingenuity, by hard work, by talent, by rare skills. You get to become rich in Africa by stealing. That's how you become rich in Africa. You become rich in Africa by stealing. So that's how Isabel dos Santos became the richest woman in Africa. Now she wants to run for the presidency of Angola. So basically, Isabel dos Santos wants to run for the presidency of Angola. And I think it just shows Africa we are a it just shows that in Africa we really are a sorry state. How do we just elect thieves to be able to manage our resources? I think in Japan the corrupt commit suicide. In China, the corrupt are shot by the firing squad. In America and Europe, the corrupt resign because of the resign and wait for the long arm of the law to catch up with you. But in Africa, the corrupt are celebrated and re-elected back to office. So basically, that shows we don't have values. Basically, the corrupt they steal money of generations. That's why if you tell an African and that is basically that work hard and you succeed, they will give you blank stares because essentially to get rich in Africa all you have to do is to steal, just steal public money, just steal public money and you will be very rich. That's how people get to be rich. So this daughter of the former president Isabel dos Santos is basically going to this daughter of the former president Isabel dos Santos is going to become the richest woman, is going to contest for the presidency of Angola. So that shows you basically if you account for corruption outflows from Africa, then Africa is a net donor to the world. It is not a net recipient in aid. So basically I think Africa we really have a long way to go. I think we just elect people that are going to steal money. We elect people that are going to steal money, and that is why we basically are very poor. In America, when you want to contest for elections, basically you are a normal person, so they donate to you, and it's the opposite in Africa. You're the ones who give voters money, but in America they donate to you. Look at someone like Barack Obama. He barely had anything, but they donated to him, and that's how he became president. So basically, Isabel dos Santos is once the richest woman in Africa is going to contest for the presidency in Angola, just showing you that in Africa the corrupt are celebrated and re-elected back to office, and that's not a good thing. When we give the corrupt our resources, then basically, and I think African politicians are really the richest in the world. Then finally, in American politics, who will be the next leader of the Democratic Party? In American politics, who will be the next leader of the Democratic Party? Because I think now the Democrats are very much discouraged. They thought that a convicted felon, they thought that someone that had 34 indictments, basically 34 felony charges, they thought he will not be elected. But the American people chose a billionaire, they chose a convicted felon. So where does that leave the Democratic Party? Now the Democratic Party needs to select the next leader, and who will be that next leader? That's what we need to know. Who will be the next leader of the Democrats, and what will it take to bring back the fortunes of the Democrats? Remember, after the demolition by Reagan came Bill Clinton, who resuscitated the fortunes of the Democratic Party, and then after Bill Clinton, then came George W. Bush, and of course, then came Barack Obama when John Kerry gave him a chance to speak at the Democratic National Convention in 2004. That's the speech that made Barack Obama president. Essentially, in 2004, the Democratic National Convention, he was the Illinois Senator candidate for the Democrats, and that's the speech that made Barack Obama. So, which leader will basically which leader will come and reignite the fortunes of the Democrats. And of course, it's going to be a long way ahead. So let's wait and see. Of course, you have the likes of Alexandria Ocasio Cortez, you have the likes of maybe Tim Walz, you have a few senators like Joe Shapiro, and of course, they are going to come up in line, or maybe even the California governor, that is Gavin Newsom. They are going to come up. They want to be the next leader of the Democratic Party, but they will have to pander to the working class. The Democrats try to speak from both sides of the mouth. They wanted to work for the working class and also be fight for the billionaires. Remember, the last three Democrat presidents have all been corporate scientists. You have that is Bill Clinton, you have Barack Obama, and now Joe Biden. They have all been corporate scientists, but then they need to come to the center, and I think they will basically. I think these corporate scientists, and now they need to shift and become a party of the working class. So that's it for now, where I have looked at in Kenyan entertainment. I have looked at basically Willie Paul. Can he reach the stature of Diamond Platinum's Davido, Burna Boy, Whiskey, Diamond Platinums? And then secondly, why are engineers flocking to careers in high finance and consulting? And then in the Making America, who will be in Africa perspective? Isabel dos Santos, that is the daughter of Angola's richest former president, Eduardo dos Santos. She wants to contest for the Angolan president. So will she get to be the president of Angola, the incoming president of Angola? And then in the Making America, who will be in American political balance? Who will be the next leader of the Democratic Party? So bye for now, till the next time. Bye for now.